Hey, what's happening? Folks, welcome back to this second part in this two-part series on the Linton Forge with my buddy Neil. Today, we're doing old school printing, old style technique, as done back in the 1850s. Let's get after it, man. Check this out. Check out this sneaky little door. Brother Neil, we're printing stuff.
Hi.
What are we working on?
Well, I've got, as you can see, three presses in here. That's the oldest, 1860-ish, made in London. They don't make anything there now. Conisbee, it's actually quite a rare machine, very rare for its, and very advanced for its age. But it
looks advanced.
It's also full foot operation, treadle machine.
Oh well.
Yeah.
So, it even sounds old. It's even got that old working mechanical kettlebell sort of.
I've still got a couple of little things to do on this, improve on it because of just the wear and tear over the years, you know. This one is called a Golding. It's an American machine. They all came from Ballarat. I got them all from Ballarat. Anyways, about 1920, American. It's had a motor added and the foot operation taken away.
Oh, so they've sort of cheated a bit. So they've automated them as electricity came more available?
Well, before then, they'd have, the bigger companies would have, or newspapers, would have a row of these and a central beam going across, you know, with pulleys on.
Yes.
And a steam engine or a single piston diesel engine.
Right.
Running the whole thing.
Running the whole lot.
If you wanted to stop it, and it's got the mechanism here, you just knock the belt off.
Oh, that's how they stopped it. The little foot control down the bottom there would just knock the belt off and that would disengage it.
Yeah.
Aha. What are we printing on this one, buddy? I see it's got like something in here, like it's
okay, it was a museum in Ballarat, but it was 1980s. So I'm just doing
What's the...
that's a plate.
So that's called a plate. That part there is called the plate, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a bit more about that, Neil. So what happens with...
Okay.
With from the start, how do we even get that? How do we get that plate?
Right. From a photograph, or look, some were made of wood, like wood cuts, but the majority, like this, that's some sort of...
Oh, what is that? They're all people or something all standing there. We don't
know what it's about.
Look at that.
Probably
that guy's got a pipe in his mouth. Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you can see that on camera. That guy's got a pipe.
Yeah. Smoking. So, look, that's a piece of wooden type.
Type. You say type. What does type mean?
Well, type is
that what that's called?
Alphanumeric. Your alphabet and your numbers. Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess that's number 2.
Oh, look at that.
What's that? The male.
Oh, it's backwards. Everything's backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, how that would be made, they have a photographic image, which they enlarge to the size of the plate. And then once you've got that negative, or positive, but negative mainly, you can lay that down on a piece of aluminium, or in this case, a piece of steel, whatever, and you etch out the area you don't want.
Okay, right.
So it was not a great job, you know, working with some pretty strong chemicals there. So I got the 2 colours, like red and green, and made some traditional old-fashioned greeting cards, you know. So there's 4 on the plate. So that's one plate, and this would be the image of the other plate.
Oh, and you combine the whole lot together, so
and you combine the 2 together, and you get your...
And then in the finish, we get this.
Yeah, this probably...
Can we get a look at this?
Yeah, it's probably a dodgy one, but that's okay.
That's okay.
they're just...
End result.
They're just there to show me what those blocks are, you know.
And that is... It's actually got that very old school look.
Yeah.
It looks like, I don't know, like an old comic, Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah.
Or it's got that old school look. I love it.
Oh, another one. So that is a very nice plate. And that was made Ballarat Brewery. And it says menu. So again, they would print
Oh, I see.
quite a few and give them out to their pubs. And they could write
It's got that old school look.
just write what's on the menu, you know?
Yeah, wow.
But that's
cool.
fairly solid.
It is solid. Well, you've got me very intrigued in what's in these drawers now. We must rummage. We must rummage further.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Is that a sheriff's badge?
It's a star, isn't it? Yeah.
Victor. What is this little one here? Oh, this one's falling apart.
Sometimes they do just drop off.
What is this? This is intriguing me. I want to know what it is now. What does this say? I still can't really read it. It says stock.
Because you're trying to read it backwards.
I give up because I'm trying to read it backwards and I'm trying to use a magnifying glass. And the little tiny, Neil thinks it's funny because he's probably good at it and I'm not. And the little tiny print on there is probably not even a millimetre high, each little letter. Quitting while you're ahead is not the same as quitting.
Okay,
What are you doing here, Neil?
We try and spread it out across the disc.
So that's ink in a tube, is that what?
Yeah.
Am I getting that right? Ink
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a tube, okay. And that noise you guys can hear, that's that motor down the back there idling. But the machine's not engaged, so the belt's not turning yet. Neil's just inking this
Okay, so
plate up.
then I get the manual roller.
Oh, it's sticky.
Oh yeah. Spread it out a bit.
Oh, it's sort of... It's weird stuff. It's like it needs some thinners in it or something.
Well, you can do that.
Oh, you can thin it?
Sometimes you have to. If it gets too hot, it'll dry on the disc here. So I'll thin it down
True.
a little bit. But if you thin it down too much, it won't dry. Okay, now we're cooking with gas.
That's looking good.
Yeah,
Starting to look a little bit more consistent.
yeah. This is fixed.
Okay.
The plate is fixed. Only the bed moves.
Right.
And you have two tables. One for your paper in, one for your paper out. Pretty simple stuff. There's what we call the impression, right? When I throw this on, it will go that little bit further and actually make a print.
Okay.
If I leave it off, it'll just run that ink up. So I'm leaving it off right now, just to get some ink on those rollers.
Uh-huh. So you're going to do a manual...
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, and that's rolling ink over the... I see what it's doing. It's rolling ink over that plate, over the
Yeah.
impression plate. Oh, and you got to risk it and put your hand in there.
That's it.
Oh, this looks like a real good way to break a finger.
Ooh, yep. Okay.
First shot. Ta-da! How good's that?
So, I mean, I have this going as slow as it'll go.
I see that,
Because
but it's still cool.
But when I was an apprentice, I worked with guys who would be talking to each other and just go.
Oh, they'd be that good at it. They don't
And-
need to look at what they're doing.
And the same with the compositors. These are the guys who set that type by hand. So, obviously, there's no type here that's a block.
It's just full plate, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the final imprint though.
Yeah. It's not bad for a first one. So we'll let it roll again without the impression, and then we put the impression on.
And that's when it actually touches it.
Yeah. And take it off this time. Yeah. Fine.
That's beautiful. All right, so Neil, you're going to explain a little bit about the type.
Yeah.
So this is what they call type, right?
Yeah, which is basically lead with a bit of antimony, tin, make it harder.
Okay.
Because lead on its own is quite soft.
Yes.
So
Yep.
as you're printing, you're going to wear it away over time.
What sort of time? So if we had a small letter S the size of your thumb, like how long are we talking? Are we talking a day or are we talking 2 years?
No. Yeah, we're probably talking, yeah. It depends how often it gets used, because a lot of jobs you end up, they call it dissing, which means putting it back in the case. This one here is not a proper case. That's just a set of boxes, right? Usually A, B, C, D. But the traditional type case is this one. And you can see, people who buy these things at junk shops, they want those because they can put, say, thimbles or whatever they collect in.
Stamps or,
Whereas this
toys
one,
or,
you've got bigger areas and smaller areas. So, for instance, your X, your W, your Y, your Z aren't very big. You haven't got too many of those in those compartments.
Right. Is that because they're not commonly used?
That's it.
Okay.
If you're composing sort of a job, we call it composing, putting the type together. Your A, E, I, O, U's are quite plentiful, you know. So these are the ones, and also they're in the middle position. Mm-hmm. So it's easier to set.
So your vowels are in the middle because obviously A, E, I, O, U are
when it comes
used the most.
When it comes to capitals, it's more of a traditional square thing.
Okay.
A, B, C, D. Still slightly different, but... And then you've got your full stops, your commas, and so on.
Is that how they should all be laid out? Is that like an industry
standard? That's what I mean, a worldwide standard.
Or is that just this shop?
No. It's actually... There are variations, but basically it's worldwide.
Oh, really? So that's the uniform
UK,
layout?
America, Australia, you could go to any print shop and start setting type because you'd know exactly where they should be.
Huh.
Yeah.
A bit like a keyboard on a modern computer.
It is.
But don't change where the keys are, right? Is that a
dead
good
right.
way of...
Yeah.
Okay.
I went from this to a typewriter and it's still the same sort of thing. Here's a small job for this small machine.
Love the small machine.
Yeah. And you can see the Linton Emporium, and there's some pretty small type in there. And it's taken me ages, but I'm going through each one.
I like these, and the reason that I like these, is that a W? That's a W.
Oh yeah, it's a very, very...
There's the reason that I like this. This W here, it's like the Old West.
So you wanted posters and whatever, you know, poster wanted for horse stealing or something.
That's how they look to me as well. They've got that old school gunslinger look.
It's a very old face. I mean, it's the A.
That's cool, man.
The A, even the A is very... you can't really do it just on there.
You could call it a little bit... Does it look a bit circus or does it look a bit... I don't know. I think it looks Western.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks circus. Because you know how the circus font can look a bit the same, a bit... I don't know. You know what I'm saying.
And just for a novelty, and I needed to put it somewhere, right? There is a complete alphabet in this.
I think you showed me that one time. Yeah, look at the size of that. So that's the complete alphabet right there.
Yeah.
You guys are never going to see this on camera. Sorry, folks. It's just not going to happen.
But you can see that.
But you can see, like, there's my little finger. And down in amongst all that somewhere, there is the complete... We're going to try with a magnifying glass for what it's worth. Let's try it. I don't think it's never going to happen.
No.
It's never going to happen.
It's tiny. It's really tiny.
Forget I spoke. But even with a magnifying glass, you're not going to see those little... They're probably, what do you reckon they are, Neil? Like about 2 millimetres? If you've got a little digital vernier, they're about 2 millimetres each?
I think it's 4 point. We call it 4. That's the measure for printing.
That's what they call points.
Yeah. 6 point gill bold. Well, 6 point is as small as I ever want to do. This is tiny.
How tiny are we talking? Like, do you even know what's on it? Okay. Like, guys, you're never going to see this in this camera, but like, anyway. It's
tiny.
Like smaller than a toothpick, and it's like there's a little letter on the head of the toothpick.
That's it.
And what do they call that? 6 point.
Yeah.
And that's as small as you want to go?
Oh, I don't even do that.
No, I don't. I
did
wouldn't want to do that. That's too fiddly.
For the business card. But then I thought, well, if I can't read it, why do people go crazy with a small type on the business card?
I wouldn't see.
You want to see the phone number. You want to see the name.
Yeah, the address or whatever. Yeah.
So that's a bit bigger. That's 14. That's about where I go.
14.
Yeah.
Oh, well, can we have a look at that?
Yeah.
That's a D, is it? I could sort of see that straight away. I don't know. Again, on camera, you guys might not see this, but
18 point. Yeah, no, you can see that's an N, right? No problem.
that's an N.
So that's 18. So that first one was 6 points. This
Okay.
is 8 points. I mean 18 points.
So they call this 18 points, and
Yeah.
the first little one was 6 point.
Yeah. I know when South Australia was founded, the first ships were settlers going from England, and one of the things on board was a printing press and a cabinet of type. So what we have is a setting stick. That's called a setting stick. And yeah, you would literally stand here and compose your whatever you wanted. So what you have to do is actually set the width you want, a bit like that tray there. And then you asked me what these bigger ones were for. Well, they're spacers.
Oh.
They're not type high, so they won't print.
Right.
So if you put
So you're going to use a lot of those.
So if you put a piece of type next to it, you'll see that stands proud, stands higher.
Sticks up.
Yeah.
So you could compose it in that.
Yeah.
I sort of understand.
And you end up with that.
And then you end up with that, which is this here.
Yeah, which I did on this stick. It's not changed the measure, actually, obviously.
This is my favourite one in the whole shop. And I know it's little, I know it's not as big, but I've just been talking to Neil about it, and I love this little machine.
It's called an Adana. They still make them.
It's called a what?
Adana.
Adana. How do you spell it? A-D as in Adana.
A-D-A-N-A.
Right.
And they didn't make big machines. They only made this and one slightly bigger.
I'm telling you, wait till you see this little guy go through its little motions. You ready? Oh yeah, and you roll that around a bit to keep the ink on the roller.
If you do a full press,
see.
it moves around itself, like that one. It moves around on its own.
Okay.
But initially, okay, we've got enough on there to get a print.
So that's been rolling ink across the face there. Okay.
Yeah, and that is type. Somewhere about there. And we put that on. It's a bit light on the ink, but it's pretty well in the right.
Up,
it's in the right spot. It's a bit on the. We can fix that. That's better.
Yeah, it's mint. Look at that. It's actually full of black too, like the colour in it's amazing.
Yeah, dense.
Dense.
Dense black, yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I love it. Actually love it. The mechanics in it, I think that the mechanics in it is the coolest thing. Can we just cycle that again?
So
The way it's sprung loaded through here,
yeah.
which keeps tension on the rollers, in, you know, it pulls it hard against the ink on the pad there. I think the mechanics of it, it's a real little masterpiece.
and it does a job, you know.
Ka-chunk. Neil was saying about his paper stores, like he's got card and different types of old school paper, like he's got it stored pretty much everywhere. Any void that you can find, he's got paper stored. Look at some of this stuff, like different coloured cards, and obviously you buy it whenever you get the opportunity to buy it because paper's not cheap, but some of this stuff's cool. Like that reminds you of the old, like the old stationery carbon copy books that you do an old handwritten invoice. Yeah.
Ah, the crocodile board, yeah.
Crocodile board, he just called it.
Yeah.
He says crocodile board.
Everybody used to use it for invoice
Crocodile
books, delivery docket books, Yeah, and you'd have either,
I was right, wasn't I?
yeah.
Invoice
So
books.
it was
Yeah.
either what we
I
call
remember doing that, and I'm not even that old.
either NCR, which is like a coated paper where you press on it and it goes through to the next sheet, or they actually used a bit of carbon.
Yeah, carbon copy.
Yeah.
You can still buy a carbon copy book if you want to do
Yeah.
a duplicate or a triplicate. Or
Yeah, but that's
that sounds old.
Yeah.
This sounds really old. We just go and buy a MacBook Pro or whatever and just type it out. Right here in the middle of the forge.
Yeah, there's a Chandler and Price, and they were one of the most well-known manufacturers of this type of, we call clamshell platen.
They call it clamshell, obviously,
Yeah,
because the
the
two
way it
faces, these two faces come together.
Yeah.
Is that where it gets its name, clamshell?
Yeah. The later model also worked like that, but it had mechanical way of getting the paper in and out. This is a manual getting in and out.
So this thing will swallow your hand. If you keep your hand in there and it's going through its cycle, it'll just crush it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
It looks pretty robust too, brother. Like this is pretty serious beams on this.
Yeah. I'd say it's about 1.6 ton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's as heavy as a car.
So I've taken the disc off here because there's a part broken.
We've got something
Here.
broken on it.
Yeah. That's broken, and that is the part that I was saying that disc moves around.
This is the disc that goes on the top. So this is where the ink, you roll all your ink on, the same as what we were seeing earlier. Geez, that's a bit of a workout to flip that over.
Yeah.
It's solid cast.
So these here, there should be that lever that each time it takes an impression, in other words the platen comes
It
up
engages in these little teeth, does it?
and it will push it round, just one division,
Yep.
which keeps the ink spread nice and even.
Right.
The reason this is worth doing, it's a big format. Most of them are about that size. Not the small one, but the medium one.
Okay.
This is bigger.
So when you say bigger, how big's the bed on this, Neil? Like,
Well,
what are we talking?
in-
About
In inches, it's 18 by 12.
18 by 12 inches.
Inches.
Is that comparable to a newspaper?
No, not really.
No?
No.
Newspaper bigger still?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's getting
'Cause this
close
bed
to
looks pretty big.
to a tabloid, what you call tabloid, you know.
I mean, I'm just going to sit my hand there just to give you a scale. It's a sizable bed.
But the other thing, the
this
best
the
thing
roller?
about that, is
Which is,
okay.
as you can see, the roller's perished, guys.
There should be 3, like on that one out there.
Ah, true. I see. So in here?
Yeah, but because I've got one, we can get the shafts made, and I've got a pretty reasonable idea what the dimension is.
Oh, yeah, so what you're saying is you could use this one as a pattern. Is that what you're thinking? We'll use this as a pattern?
If this was missing, I'd be a bit stuffed.
Yeah.
Because it'd be guesswork. So
where's the machine itself made? Chandler
America.
and Price.
America.
So Chandler and Price is an American machine.
It is, yeah.
What part of America are we talking? Has it got a...
I think
it says here, the Chandler and Price...
Cleveland,
Ohio. Yeah, you're onto it. Cleveland,
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yep.
I did notice one thing that interesting. This motor has V-belts.
Yeah.
Yet this pulley is dead smooth.
Yeah, it's not made. It's not made.
It was never meant to actually have the V-belt on it. It would have had, like Neil was talking about earlier, it would have had a big overhead gantry with, shafts running, and then the belts would have come down and ran all the machines in the shop off a big overhead spinning tube, basically. All right, Neil, tell me about this, man. What do we got going on with this fancy looking jigger? What is this thing?
Well, it was nicely rusted and it cuts paper.
This is a paper cutter.
And it is a mechanical paper cutter.
Okay.
So we get some paper. There's a back. Can you see that? There's a back gauge.
Ah.
Right, that's moved from here.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's sliding in and out. Yeah, I see that sliding in and out.
We're going to make a cut on this old guillotine. We drop the clamp. That's nice. Right, so now we're going to make we've got the paper held. It won't go anywhere. We've got the back gauge set the distance we want to cut, and we just cut.
Righto, we've loaded this up a little bit. We've put a decent old chunk of paper in there. There's probably, I don't know, 60 sheets, say?
Yeah.
Give it to it, Neil. Let's see what it does. I reckon this thing had cut through 4 inches, no drama. No dramas. Look at that. Ka-chink.
Yep.
It's not bad going.
No, it's good.
Neil's just found this. Look at this. This is this place. And this is the plate that it was done with. That's cool, that is.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Well, I've actually got 2. I don't know where that small plate is. I've got it somewhere.
I've been gifted. That wraps us up. Thanks for watching. If you've got this far, we appreciate you for that. Brother Neil, thanks for the tour.
Thank you.
It's
Bit of fun.
It has been a bit of fun, man. Like,
Yeah.
we get to go down the old memory lane of old school printing, and we've learned some stuff and we've looked at some stuff, and it's been awesome. So till the next one, cheers.